Hi, Matt Toms here with another one chart lesson. Today we're doing one of my favorite songs by Ben Harper. It's Diamonds on the Inside. We are going to play with a capo on the first fret to make all our chords quite easy. And we're going to go through the strumming patterns, the whole format of the song, the little guitar fills, which are really nice that he does throughout the song. And we're going to also do the guitar solo. So if you're not interested in the learning the guitar solo, I will put it at the end of this video so you can kind of skip right through till the play along version that comes at the end. So capo on first fret. The chords that we are now using are very simple. They are G, A minor. We're going to play a B minor, which is a bar chord which everyone should learn as soon as they can with their guitar playing, because it's a really useful, well-used, popular bar chord. A B minor is your A minor chord shape moved up to the second fret. So your bar finger is across the second fret and you're playing an A minor there. And of course an A minor lifted up by a whole step or 2 frets becomes a B minor. If you're not quite sure about your bar chords, jump onto my tutorial about how to play bar chords and how to memorize all the spots that you need to know to play bar chords quickly and easily. And there is your B minor. Once you've got that, this is a great way of practicing your bar chords, because there's only one bar chord in this song. It's the B minor. All the others are open chords. So we go through G, A minor, B minor, goes back down to A minor and to G. As we go to the chorus, we go to F, and I also like to play this F chord as a bar chord as well, because you get those nice lower notes in there and it gives it more bass and just sounds a little bit fuller to me. F or F, C and G. That is the chorus. The chords in the solo are nice and easy as well. We go D, C and E minor in a couple of different directions. I'll show you that when we get there. So they're all the chords, quite easy. As I said, capo on the first fret. If you're not playing along with the Ben Harper version, there's no reason why you have to use a capo. You can play all those chords in that, in the right order in standard open tuning, and it's going to sound great. It's just going to sound a half step lower than the original key. So let's get into it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to learn the little intro guitar riff, which goes right throughout the song, comes in every time we're about to start a chorus. And at the beginning here, it starts just before we begin the first verse. So the riff is this. And I'm going to start with an upstroke on the G. You're going to go G, then down to the second fret A string, then down to the second fret D string, open D string, second fret A string, open A string, third fret E string, open E string, and then we're going to land on a G chord. So it's like this. Now if you start with an upstroke on that open G string, it's more efficient for your pick movement. Even though I'm using my fingernail here instead of a pick, it's the same theory. You go up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's the most efficient way of doing it. If you don't do it in that direction, if you find it easier to do, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, that's fine too. But that is the most efficient way. And as soon as he hits that G chord, we're into the first verse. So it goes, I knew a girl, then A minor, her name was Truth, B minor, she was A minor, horrible liar, back to G. The strumming pattern, it's going to be nice and easy. It's a really cruisy feeling song, this. So we're going to do something like that. And if you stray from that pattern, as long as you stay in time, it's going to be fine. So the pattern we're going to use is this. Down, down, up, up, down, down. If you keep your hand moving with that kind of rhythm, whatever you strum is going to sound good and sound in time. miss, down, miss, up, up, down, down. Down, miss, up, up, down, down. The reason why I'm doing those miss strums and keeping my hand moving is to keep that rhythm going in your hand. It's a lot easier to keep your hand moving constantly than it is to start and stop it and try and keep that rhythm flowing. So down, miss, up. It also puts your hand in exactly the right place that it needs to be for the next strum. So down, miss, and we're down here, up, ready for the up strum. Down, miss, up, up, down, down. Okay, so that's our verse pattern. When we go through that little pattern 4 times, you'll get to the chorus. Now the chorus begins with that little riff, but that little riff comes on the last bar of the verse. So we're going, I knew a girl, her name was Truth, she was a horrible liar. And as you're going down from the B minor to the A, that strumming pattern will probably change a little bit, but as long as you're staying in time, it's fine. You can do all down strums or whatever sounds good. She couldn't spare one day long, but she couldn't be satisfied. Go through it 2 more times. When you have everything, you have everything to lose. She made herself a bed of nails, but she's planning on putting it to use. Here comes the riff. So it comes at the end of that last bar of G in that verse. So it's like G, 2, 3, 4. So it starts on the 3rd beat. 1, 2, she had diamonds. That's your chorus. It begins on the F. Diamonds on. With this C chord, we're going back to the G, but with this C chord, if you're interested, he does a nice little fluttery riff there on the C, where he does that. I haven't put it on your one chart, but it's very, very easy to do. It's just a little fast. So once you learn how to do it, you'll get plenty of practice throughout the song playing this. In the chorus, F, C, starts on the 2nd beat, 1, 2. What you do is you just strum that D string again, lift your finger off, so you're strumming the open D string, hammer on to the 2nd fret, so you're playing a normal C again. Then you move over to the G string, you play the open G string, and it doesn't matter if you hit a couple of the strings around it because you're strumming a chord anyways, right? So you go, and you hammer on that G string 2nd fret quickly and lift it off again. You do a trill. Back to the 2nd fret D string where you should be in your normal C chord. Lift it off again, and then you play the G. So it's F, C, G. I'll do that a couple of times so you can practice it. F, C, and it takes a little while for your fingers to develop the strength to do those little hammer-ons and pull-offs. And if you keep your fingers on the rest of the C chord notes, then if you play those other strings or hit those other strings or flick them with this finger that's doing the hammer-ons and pull-offs, it won't matter. It'll sound good. As you take off that last note, when you start to move to the G. So we go. She wore diamonds on the inside. Doing that riff again at the end of each line on the chorus. Diamonds on the inside. She wore diamonds on the inside. So you can practice that chorus. It's got everything in there that you need to kind of really work on. The intro riff, the little C hammer-ons, and the G. Finish on the G. Okay, so that's your chorus. Then we come out of the chorus and go to another verse. Run through that progression 4 times. End with the little riff again. Takes you to the chorus. Now, rather than write that little, you'll see that I've just written riff in brackets on the one chart where that riff happens. So we don't do it, we don't tab it out every single time. It's not the one chart way. You learn it once, it's there, you see riff, you know that's where you've got to play it. After you do that chorus again you reach the chorus for the second time and you run through that, it does an extra once through the chorus. She had diamonds, and where you would normally do that riff at the end of that G bar, we're starting the solo. Now, I'm not going to play the solo right here. I'll do that at the end of the video, and you can skip it, you can do it, but for now, we're moving through into the chords of the solo. So it starts with D, and your strumming pattern's going to change a little bit here. Probably just do mostly down strums like I just did then. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, E minor for a whole bar. Then we changed the order of the C and the D. So it's C first, then D, and E minor. C, D again. And E minor. And the third time round we come to, well then the fourth time round actually, we come to C and we hold it for a bar. It's the end of the solo, and D and we hold it for a bar. Last verse, like a soldier standing under fire. Well, any change comes as a relief. Let the giver's name remain unspoken. Oh, well, she is just a generous thief. Here comes the riff. She wore diamonds on the inside. She wore diamonds on the inside. Keep going through that. We're going to do that line a total of 4 times. And Ben's singing his heart out and winding up the song. The very last line, we get to, we start slowing down for the very last one, and end on the G. A nice simple ending. That little riff you can do, you don't have to do it every single time. In fact, if you do it every single time, it probably sounds a little bit more predictable, but put it in where you feel like it. As long as you scatter it out throughout the song, it's fine. If sometimes you don't do that riff, you just strum the chords, it's all good. So, that is Diamonds on the Inside. Now we're going to have a look at the solo, and if you are not interested in learning how to play the solo, the great guitar solo in the middle of this, then click on the link below, go straight through to the play-along version of the song where we're going to do it from start to finish, and I'll see you there. If you're going to stay around, now we are going to do this fantastic guitar solo. I'm going to do it on an acoustic guitar, even though, you know, obviously he does it on an electric, but it's a great solo. It's got some slides and hammers. We're going to go through that now and show you exactly how it's done. Okay, so here's how you do the guitar solo. Again, we start on the third beat of that last bar of G in the chorus. You put your first finger across the third fret of both the B and the E strings. And when I say third fret, that's what I mean, third fret up from the capo. You hammer the B string with your third finger, hammer the B string onto 5, but you leave the E string ringing open on the third fret. So it sounds like that. It's a very Jimi Hendrix kind of technique, but it sounds great. And then you lift it back off, so you're playing both the threes. Reach across next with your second finger, play the 4 on the G string, slide it down to the 2 and then to the open string. Reach over again to the D string, second fret. So you're going. And that's your first little phrase. So take some time, work on that phrase, because you're landing on the D string. When you land on that open D string, that's your first chord of the chorus. You see the chords on your one chart, starts on the D, goes to C, goes to E minor. We're going to follow these chords quite closely with the notes we hit in the solo, which is part of what makes it sound like it does. So open D string, then you play the D string again, hit the second fret, slide up to 4, play the G string second fret, come back to the 4 on the D string. Alright? Then you reach across and play the C. This is when the chords fall onto the C, but you're playing the C on the third fret of the A string. Okay, so from the open D string, play the C note again, third fret A string again, and you go sliding. Now, this is a bend on an electric guitar, but on an acoustic guitar, you can always slide instead of bend, and it's normally a 2 fret slide. That's your regular full bend on an electric guitar. You can try and bend on the acoustic, but it's hard work because the strings are a bit tighter. So what we're doing is we're sliding from 2 on the G string up to 4, and then straight after that, we're playing the open E and open B. And then we're taking the third fret of the B and sliding it up to the 5th fret. So it sounds like this. Then we're playing the open E again and the open B, then playing the 3rd fret B string. Now we are doing a little bend because we're playing the 2nd fret G string and we're bending it up, letting it come back down again quite quickly. Open G string, 2nd fret D string, open D string, 2nd fret A string, open A string, then we're landing on the C again. Okay, so all that riff there was in over the E minor chord. So we've got from the start, then over the E minor, next chord C, do this again, open A string, open D string, hammer onto 2, come back down to the 2nd fret D string, open D string over the D chord. You do that same thing again where you take the 2nd fret D string, slide it up to 4, over to 2 on the G string, back to 4 on the D string, and we go. So 3rd fret E string, and if you do this as a trill without picking each of those notes, it sounds good. Doesn't matter whether you do or don't, but that's how you get it to flow a little bit more smoothly and in a more legato fashion. 3, 2, O on the E string, 3, 3 on the B string, then slide it up to 5. Then we're doing what we did at the very start, which was grabbing both of those 3rd fret notes on the B and the E string. Hammer on to 5, come back to 3 again. Slide the 4 on the G string down to 2. Then back to the 2, slide to the 4 and play the 3 on the B string. Then we're going to do a position shift where we move up to the 7th fret of the G string. And we do that. We hammer on to the 9th fret twice. Then move over to the 8th fret B string. Hammer on once and come back to the 8. So it's... Now again, this is a bend on an electric, but like I said, we're going to slide from the 10th fret up to the 12th fret. And with our first finger, play the 10th fret on the E string. So it's... Come back to the 12th fret on the B string, slide straight back down to 10, back to 8 on the B string, then back to the 10, back to the 8, over to the 9 on the G string, back to the 8 on the B string. So then we go sliding from the 10 to the 12, and this would normally be a bend, and so you would bend and stop it at the top of that bend. But this time on the acoustic, this way on the acoustic, we're sliding up to 12 and cutting the note short. So slide from 10 to 12, cut it short, come back down to 8, and then 2 9s on the G string. So then we grab 7 on the G and 8 on the B string, again in that Hendrix style like we did at the start, grabbing both those notes together and hammering with your 3rd finger. You hammer the G string up to 9. Come back down to 7 on the G string, reach over with your 3rd finger to play 9 on the D string, slide it straight down to 7, 5 on the D string, back to 7, back to 5, 7 on the A string, and slide that off. So we're going... Last 2 bars are over the C chord. And if you play a C bar chord like that, you'll see the top row of notes across the 5th fret on the D, G and B strings form that C major triad. That's what we do to get in position for this second last bar. We start on the 6 on the B string. With our finger across all the 5s here on D, G and B, we put our 2nd finger on the 6, pull off to 5 on the B string. On the G string we hit 7 and pull off to 5. Then we play 5 on the D string and hammer on to 7 and play 2 5s on the G string. So it's 6 5 7 5 5 7 5 5. Then on the G string you go 5 7 5 7 slides up to 9 and 8 on the B string. So once you get that little riff going smoothly, you've got the rest of the solo, because the very last bar is that exact same riff over the D chord. So it's moved up 2 frets, which is what you do with a C chord. Move up 2 frets to make it a D chord. You move that C triad across the D, G and B strings on the 5th fret, move it up to the 7th fret, and you're playing a D triad. And you do exactly the same riff with a slightly different ending. So you go 8 7 9 7 7 9 7 7 on the G, 7, 9, 7, and the 9 slides up to 11 and then back down out of sight quickly. So, like a soldier standing under fire. And that's the solo. So we're going to run through it slowly from start to finish, just so you get a little bit of practice putting all those phrases together. And then we're going to move over to the play along video, and the link is below and probably in the screen here somewhere. And we're going to play the whole song from start to finish, and you can either play the solo along with the song, or you can just sit on the chords through the solo if you like. Okay, so from the start of the solo, remember beginning on beat 3. 1, 2. Good job. All right, now head on over to the play along track and do the song from start to finish with me. All right, let's go. If you're not jumping over to the play along track, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and please send any comments or questions you may have about this. I'm happy to help you out anytime I can. Jump on over to the One Chart website anytime. We're adding new songs and new videos and new charts constantly, and we hope to see you there again soon. Thanks.